Good evening, you incredible human beings. It's been a while since I've been live in here, and it's going to be nice to have a chat with you guys because tonight we're going to be going over a mistake that 99% of common men make. This is such a simple, I made this mistake, right? And I'll run you through a story and how it actually impacted me and all the negative impacts that it had. And I'll run you also through how you can fix it because it's so simple and easy. By the way, for you guys who are new in here, we've had a lot of guys who are joining the group recently. For those of you who are new, I'm James. I own JCF Coaching. We own this group, and pretty much what we do is we help men like you absolutely dominate life. And yes, I wear these glasses because they're very sexy, but I also wear them because they enhance your sleep and are an absolute game changer. So before you guys ask, yes, they are a fashion statement. I love looking like Bono, and my wife Sophie loves them, but at the same time, there's actually a real reason why I wear these things. But now let's crack on into it, like all jokes aside. So if I go back about 4 years ago now, I was absolutely cooked. I was working massive hours, massive days, and it started impacting me. So I was running the business and we're going through that first stage of business where, you start hiring employees, you're building out systems, you're building out automation, you're struggling to get sales in, and it's just like work. And you're just hustling. It's the same thing. A lot of you guys in business would know it. A lot of you guys who are like trying to climb the corporate ladder or trying to ascend up through your jobs, doing all that sort of stuff. We bought our first house then as well. And I was trying to balance this business, which was growing, buying the house, relationship with Soph, plus also lifting and training at the same time. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pro bodybuilder by trade. So that's how I started out. I started out by bodybuilding. I competed all over the world, did that sort of stuff. And I did that for years. And so I was trying to still lift, and I was trying to still stay, in shape, look good, be pretty shredded and jacked, even though I wasn't competing at a super high level then. I wasn't taking it that hard, but I still wanted to go to the gym, still wanted to be good. And I noticed that when I started working my ass off, everything else started slipping. And, there's 3 areas of your life. You've got your health, you've got your wealth and your business and your career, and then you have your relationships. And I noticed that anytime my health was really good, my business and my relationship would suffer. Anytime my relationship was really good, my health and my business would suffer. Anytime my business was really good, the other 2 would suffer, right? And it was like within these 3, wheels of life, so to speak, I could only ever balance one out at a time. And I noticed this is really common with a lot of dudes. And so I would constantly go from fixing one to the other. And it was like, okay, well, I'm exhausted right now, so now I'm going to work on my health. Or my business isn't going too well, so now I'm going to go and I'm just going to work on my business. My relationship's suffering. I'm not spending enough time with Soph, and she's getting the shits with me. Fair enough. Right now, I've got to go out and I've got to hang out with her more. I've got to drop everything and do it. And I was in this constant merry-go-round of just fixing everything. And it felt like all I was doing was putting out fires. I never had any time to just savor the wins. I never had any time to just kick back, relax, enjoy. Business is good. I'm shredded and jacked. Soap's going well. It felt like I was just constantly moving around from thing to thing to thing. Maybe some of you guys can relate to that. Please let me know if you can. And I just felt it really difficult to balance. I remember talking to my dad. Now, my dad's a very successful guy, right? He ran a very big business, and he exited that business. And I was talking to him about it, and he said, James, you need to be balanced. Balance is the key. And I was like, ha! Like that, I saw you growing up. Like when I was growing up, you were working your ass off the whole time, right? My dad worked massive hours, like 70, 80, 100-hour weeks, right? And he worked massive hours, and that's all I saw growing up. And I'm like, well, he's successful, so therefore I've got to do that same thing. And he's like, James, you got to do the whole balance thing. You got to be balanced. And I was like, why would I be balanced? I want to be successful. And nobody in life who is successful is balanced. It just doesn't ever happen. And I held on to that belief for a really long period of time. That in order for me to be successful in anything, I just had to work my butt off all the time. And to a degree, it's actually really true. If we look at anybody who's successful, I coach a lot of clients who are very successful men. Guys who've got net worths up to like $100 million. And these guys are doing exceptionally well. And no, there are lots of aspects which aren't balanced. And so I thought, fuck that. I'm going to keep being imbalanced. And the thing is that I looked at it all wrong, right? Because I was constantly putting out fires all the time. I was one moment constantly like working my ass off and trying to get back into shape and stay shredded, jacked and strong. Next moment, I was putting all my energy and intensity into the business and working massive days. Then after that, I was like trying to recuperate and hang out with Soph and get time in with her. And it was just constantly like moving around. But I was never actually getting anywhere. And this is the biggest mistake so many men make, is that we try and prioritize one area at a time. And the reason why we try and prioritize one area at a time is because we don't have enough energy. Right? We don't have enough stamina to be able to do all three at once. We think that the amount of energy that we have, if we have 10 units of energy, using those 10 units of energy, we have to put all 10 units into one area of our life. Otherwise, we feel like we don't get anywhere. And we feel like we're just treading water to get by. And here's the big thing that I noticed, which is crazy. I looked at my days and I looked at how inefficient I was throughout the day, because someone gave me this really, really cool exercise, and I want you guys to try this, right? Please try this exercise. It'll be a total game changer for you. I want you to track. It's so simple, so easy. I want you to track every half hour of your day and see what you get done during that half hour. Write down every 30 minutes, what are you doing throughout the day? Every single activity, what do you achieve, right? So start off with that. And then what I want you to do, so I want you to do that for a week, every single day. And then what I want you to do is I want you to count every single time you're fucking around. Every single time you've got brain fog. Every single time you're anxious, you're hesitating. Every single time you're not taking action, you're not getting something done. Every single time you're procrastinating. Every single time you're doing a task which really didn't need to be done. Every single time where you're functioning at slightly lower than your peak. Because I did this and I was like, holy shit. I am wasting hours and hours every single day. It was insane how much time I was wasting. And as soon as I figured out that this is where all this time was going, I was like, well, why am I wasting all this time? And here's what it came back down to. I was just toasted. I wasn't recovering well. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't looking after my body well. I wasn't healing well. My energy was just so low. You know, when you've had a massive night, right? You've had way too many beers and it's been just a really, really big night. The next day when you're hungover and scat, how do you feel? Do you do your best work then? Are you most energetic then? Are you best to hang around with your wife then? Are you the best lifter in the gym then? Do you run your business really well? Do you make good decisions then? Well, the answer is no. Nobody ever feels good hungover. Nobody ever functions well hungover. And so I'm going to put it to you this way. If you've got low energy, if you don't sleep well, if you don't recover well, if you feel like you've got brain fog every single day, if you feel like you're constantly cooked and just exhausted and your head is ringing, aren't you really working hungover? Aren't you living hungover? Because if you're living like this with really, really low energy, of course you're not going to make good decisions. Of course you're not going to feel amazing. Of course everything is going to be much more difficult for you because you're hungover. If you don't operate hungover, your life will get exponentially better. We've worked with a lot of people and made them hugely successful, all because all of a sudden, instead of them working every single day hungover, they feel freaking incredible and everything gets better. Look at Marcus Norton. He's running a business which went from literally bust when I first met him to doing about 70 million a year. Plus the dude's jacked, shredded, has an incredible relationship with his Mrs. Megan. He has the best health that he's ever had, and he's an exceptional leader for his men. Or how about another guy that I coach? Temple, he's a there we go, I'm back. What will end up happening is this. You'll end up feeling like you're spinning your wheels. One day you'll be focusing on your health. Next day you'll be focusing on your business. Next day you'll be focusing on your relationships. And you'll never get all three at once. If you want to have all three, if you want to be truly successful inside and out in every single area of your life, you cannot be hungover every single day. Now, I've got an extended training on this if you guys want access to it. Comment hungover down below if you would like access to this. I'm more than happy to shoot it across to you because I think it will be beneficial for you. Comment hungover down below and I'll hook you up with this training, because what we'll do is we'll teach you how to not actually be hungover every single day. Because imagine this. Imagine if every single day, you know those days where everything you touch turns to gold, right? Everything you do is freaking incredible. You do the best work. You have incredible gym sessions. You have amazing sex. When you're with your missus, she's just like, oh, wow, what did you do today? Like, you're being really happy. You're really smiley. You're really cuddly or whatever it is, the way that you act and which she likes or he likes. And Everyone just notices that you're awesome on these days. Now, can you imagine if every single day was like that? Instead of waking up feeling tired, not motivated, lethargic. Ugh. How would your life be? It'd be incredibly different, right? So let's make it happen, because it's not that hard. Because I've been where you've been, where you are right now. I've been in that stage where I hated waking up. I've been in that stage where I'm constantly fried. I've been in that stage where I'm anxious, I can't make decisions, I'm hesitating, procrastinating, wasting time. I was wasting hours every single day just by being inefficient. But as soon as I shifted, as soon as I made these shifts and I stopped being hungover every single day, life got super, super easy. Okay? Comment hungover down below if you want access to that training. It'll help you immensely. I'll speak to you guys soon. Have an incredible night, and thank you all for coming on.